Hello there. My name is Georgie Newbury. I'm a flower farmer and florist based between fashionable Bruton and up-and-coming Wincanton. And I've been invited up to Wisley, RHS Wisley, to take part in the dahlia trials. So who am I to say no to the Royal Horticultural Society? So that's today's job, and I'll make a little film as I go along. I've never been to Wisley. I'm 54 years old. I've been a member of the Royal Horticultural Society for 30-something years. I've never been to Wisley. So this is an exciting day for me. Anyway, while we're at it, do subscribe. There's a button here somewhere. And press the bell icon. I haven't had any coffee yet. And we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. Come on, let's have a fun day out. There's a hashtag that goes with this. It's called Flower Farmer on Tour. I don't often leave the house. Come on. So, a couple of hours later, here I am at Wisley. Look, even the car park planting's very 5-star. Anyway, also look at the queue. My goodness, good thing I gave myself plenty of time. I've got an hour before my meeting. Here we go. Well, I'm through, and that was very quick. Obviously, they just have to be careful. I think I arrived exactly the minute they opened the doors. So we all galloped through. And here I am at Wisley, which is a show garden, yes, but it is also a working garden in that everything here is being experimented with, and they're looking at interesting plant combinations and how things can grow in different areas. But also, I think quite a lot of climate change. I'm here to look at the dahlias, but first I'm going to have a walk around. I love it. It's really stunning. And everything has a label. I do love a grouping of pots. And ooh, look, glads. The borders are staggering and enormous. I never do anything like this. Really fantastic. Sort of big planting. Sort of thing I haven't got room for at home. Well, different kind of garden. And then every now and again, there's an opening to another view. Look at that. How many gardeners do you think keep this place immaculate? But the chunks of colour are really astonishing. I forget because I don't do this, and I just work with small patches of flowers for cutting, and I forget the wow that you can get. Look, people for scale. Oh, I really badly like that yellow bean tree. I think if I had a town garden, I'd have it tropical like this. Look at the lilies. Aren't they astonishing? Are just amazing. I'm amazed. And wherever you go, there's the tingle tangle of water. You could do it. Look, you wouldn't need a huge garden. You could have sort of long, narrow beds in a small square space. Yeah, it wouldn't be cheap. That'd be fun to do. Tropics. I'm back on the main drag, and look at this sanguisorba. Isn't it fun? Let's see what it's called. Sanguisorba lilac squirrel. I think I'll remember that. And look at the bees. It's humming. It's only when you get up to the top here that you can see electricity pylons and really hear the motorway, which has the tree of the cars. Occasionally you see cars flashing through the trees at the end. Otherwise it feels as though you're really in the country. You may be able to hear the motorway, but the bees don't care. They're all over these amazing foxgloves. The whole garden is quite Edwardian in feel, with the big borders and the shrubs and the trees and the clearings for a bit of sculpture. But I really like that. I think that's, it is what it is. And the planting is interesting the whole way through. And look, along the woodland walk along the top, is this the house of a badger or a fox, I wonder? I can't really tell. But look, the little celandine doesn't mind. That's not a celandine, the little purple person. Just avoided by the badger or the fox. I think it's a badger, because look, here's its lavatory. Love the way flower farmer goes to Wisley for first time in life, discovers badger set and badger labs. Aha, not quite round the end of a cucumber frame, but I spy trials beds. And that's what I'm here for. So let's go and have a look and see if we can find the dahlias. This is the cut flower patch part of the trials garden, and all I want to do is cut. Otherwise everything's going to go over. It's really hot. And the thing is, you can tell when a garden is made really by people who love perennials and shrubs, and well, they understand there's a fashion for cut flowers. They're just more interested in growing for the big vista. Oh, I could get my snips out here. And this is a lovely patch of annuals which don't mind drier weather. That's such a good idea. I'm definitely finding that if I sow a few more that don't mind a hot patch, they'll last for longer. Particularly enjoying, look at the red carrot in the middle here. That's a favourite of mine, which I always forget to sow because we have so much wild growing just around the place. And this bed is just cosmos, and I think it was cornflowers, as far as the eye can see, and then huge amounts of coreopsis. You get the feeling they've just chucked the seed in the ground because they're trying to fill the space. But that's unfair of me because I haven't actually asked anybody. But look at the Rebecca. I'm very keen on the Rebecca. Anybody who knows me well will know that I am a bit of a Rebecca fiend. Give me a Rebecca over a sunflower any day of the week. Oh yes, oh yes. All the best gardens give you a bit of potting shed goals. I have a fantasy about another building in the field. This would fill the space really nicely. I'd have a chimney. I think that's the only difference I would make, but it's a good one. Yes, look, potting shed door goals. Definitely up my straws. And here are the dahlia trials. I feel a bit sorry for them. It's hot, it's dry, and they're planted quite far apart from each other. Understandably, so that people can see which is which. But that'll help dry the earth up. Anyway, they've got some lovely varieties. What's this one? Dahlia Happet Champagne with a little hoverfly lurking. If you're looking to grow dahlias for wildlife, then grow the flat-faced varieties, collarettes, the spiky ones like these, because the bees can easily get to the middles for their breakfast. I love this one, Barone's Obsidian. It's really floriferous, so masses and masses of flowers, but these single petals will drop quite quickly. So if you want flowers that'll last and last for cutting, you do better with something heavier headed like this one, Sincerity, which is, oh sorry, I'm in the light, which is really lovely, really lovely. This one's a treat, totally tangerine. Look at the colour, it's really, really zingy. And the bees can get to the middle. If you're growing for cutting, then I really love a good pom-pom. They keep their petals for ages and ages and stand really well in water. And this one is called Skelmersdale Jane, and it's a great, lovely variety I like. So we have all gone round in a group and judged every single one of these on all sorts of different criteria. I know which one's my favourite. I think this one is an absolute winner because it's just sheer good joke of it, and it's called Sincerity. What a laugh, I would have that. But then look at this one. The bees just absolutely adore it. And this one is called Barone's Obsidian. But look, there's a whole field of dahlias, so it's quite fun to come and have a look and see which ones you think would make the order of get an award. When the trial's finished, it's going to take 2 years. This is another favourite for today. Definitely putting this on my list. Evanah, Evanah. It's a good size. Look, if I have my hand for scale, so it's not too enormous. Be really good, and it grows faces upwards, so it would be good for floristry. And this one is called Hillcrest Jonathan. Somebody on the trial committee said it was like Marmite, you either loved it or you hated it. I have to say, I quite love it. I like the way you can sort of see the machinery of it. And I love this one too. It's called Salmon Runner. Again, look, good size, facing upwards, so good in a floristry, and really great colour. And I think as the season goes on and the colours get richer as the sun comes down a bit, I think it'll be really good, this one. Salmon Runner. So that is the end of my little trip to RHS Wisley. I feel as though I've barely scratched the surface of the gardens and I need to come back. But luckily for this trial, I will be able to come back and I get a special pass. I can come really, really, really early in the morning and have the whole place to myself, which is quite exciting. And I'll see the dahlias as they get better through the year. And I will show you more of the garden, I expect, every time I come. But I have to say, I'll take a potting shed like that. And I really quite like the dahlia layout. Very tidy, much tidier than mine. So that's the end of my little trip to Wisley. What an exciting day for me. I'm now going to set off home, but I don't think I'm going to be home in time to do my Instagram live at 5. I'm going to have to postpone that. If you've enjoyed this, please do press the subscription button wherever it is, and maybe the bell icon, and we'll tell you when we have more clips. Thank you very much, the RHS, for inviting me to be part of this dahlia trial. I'm really enjoying it. And I will be back here soon. So this is not the last you'll see of RHS Wisley. And if you're in the area, come along and have a look yourselves. It's lovely.